Another thing, I have a clipping here about the graves of my wife and children, and I'd like for the grand jury to see it. It is indicative of how this case has been handled from the beginning to the end, because no one asked the husband or father whether these graves should be opened. What you did was, you sleazy jerks paid off 6 grave diggers $50 apiece not to say anything.
Doctor, what exactly is a paranoid-type psychosis?
This is when an individual becomes convinced that his particular view of reality is absolutely the only correct view, and that anyone who disagrees with it is completely out of touch.
Now, Doctor, in regards to this particular case, the MPs who came to the home and found an emergency situation, the CID agents who conducted the investigation, the medics who came and gave first aid, the hospital staff who treated him, might his psychological pattern be expressed by the attitude, they're all bunglers, they're idiots, they're stupid, they're jerks, they didn't do things right, they're incompetent?
Yes. Also, during the psychological testing I conducted, his behavior was quite inappropriate, revealing an attitude I would call paranoid-like.
Can you explain that, please?
It was the conveying of contempt, of disparagement for the examination, the examiner, the whole process that was going on at the time.
My brother's getting a raw deal.
Is that it?
This whole thing's a sham, a farce.
Is that it?
This whole thing is rigged from the beginning.
Is that it?
Look, as far as you and all these investigators, I'm on the 20th floor, and I think you're a pile of garbage. I didn't know they piled it that high.
I object to the badgering of my relatives to get some testimony. One of my relatives was told that the only time that I broke down and cried was discussing the sodium amytal examinations. That's absurd.
Who allegedly made that statement?
That creep who works for you, that little viper.
All right.
That little guy who doesn't have the politeness to introduce himself or doesn't know any of the social amenities.
Now, I take it as a doctor you collected medical supplies.
I had a large hall closet that had a lot of medications, first aid equipment.
Did you have any pills that some people refer to as uppers or downers, so on and so forth?
There was a bottle of Escatrol diet pills, which had some amphetamines in it. And Colette was using Benadryl occasionally for sleep.